Everyone, the time has come. In this video, I will be giving my final thoughts of visiting Puerto Rico, mainly San Juan, because that's where I stayed at. In this video, I think it's going to help anyone thinking about visiting, maybe spending an extended stay in Puerto Rico, or even relocating. But without further ado, let's get into the first one. And I'll start off by talking about visiting the island, which was pretty cool. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're an American, because it's super easy to travel there. And then you have a little bit of everything. So if you want the rainforest for the hikes and treks and waterfalls, they have that. If you want the beaches, all of them are public. Also the major city life, San Juan, high rises and resorts. They just have a little bit of everything. And traveling around the island, thankfully, I didn't have any problems. Everyone showed love. They were very hospitable. Man, it was just a good time. This is also one of the reasons why I think that Puerto Rico is a great beginner fly across the water starter kit destination. I know there's some people watching this and you may be a little fearful or maybe a little cautious about traveling across the water to a new place where they speak, another language, they have a different culture. But I just got done talking about how it's fairly easy to travel here from the States. A lot of people speak English. Your cell phone service, when you come here, should work. They use the dollar, which there are some pros and cons to that, but you're familiar with it. Also, this place is great for all ages. I saw a lot of families, couples, all together enjoying the island. However, even with all those conveniences, once you get to the island, and definitely in San Juan, a lot more American influence. It may feel like certain parts of the US, but once you leave that area, you're gonna feel like you're in a new country that has its own culture, its own way of life. The makeup of the people may look different. Their speech, you're gonna hear less English. You're not gonna see as many Walmarts around. So that's why I'm saying I think it's a good beginner fly across the water starter kit destination, because you kind of have, it's kind of easing you into traveling overseas. It's not like you're completely doing a 180 going to somewhere in Cambodia or somewhere in Madagascar. Going to Puerto Rico is kind of like having 1 foot outside of the US, but then 1 foot in. This next part is going to be about the island and who it attracts. Well, who do I think this place is catered for? But what demographic, what target market do I think should consider Puerto Rico, at least? And I will say that this island reminds me of a country. It's a Spanish-speaking country, and that is Panama. I think that people who enjoy Panama will enjoy Puerto Rico. Why do you think this, Sly? Well, let's talk about it. One, I kind of touched on this a little bit, the American influence, at least in the capital. So definitely when you're in Panama City, you're gonna feel that, and in San Juan for sure. Both places, at least in the capital, super expensive. I would say that Puerto Rico is probably the most expensive Spanish-speaking place that I've been to so far. They both use the US dollar, and obviously there's some pros and cons to this. Some people may say, hey, if I'm relocating to a place, I want to go somewhere where my money stretches, where the exchange rate is in my favor. Others may say, if I buy property or I have a business, I want to receive dollars back. I don't want to receive pesos or whatever else. So it's it just depends on, your situation. Additionally, both places, Panama and Puerto Rico, have tax benefits. I remember in Panama, if you're a resident, if you're like over a certain age, and they have some other stipulations, you receive discounts, tax incentives, etc., etc. And the same with Puerto Rico. I know for sure with crypto, but I don't know about like stocks and other matters, but definitely with crypto, you have tax incentives. Again, they call Puerto Rico Crypto Rico. And last but not least, both of them are similar in the sense of safety and security. Panama, while I was there, seemed like one of the more safe Spanish-speaking countries, and it seemed more stable than others. The thing with Puerto Rico, when it comes, because I know some people are like, what, safety, security in Puerto Rico? In that regard, when it comes to that island, I'm referring to more of it being a U.S. territory. You have the safety of the U.S. and its laws. In some of these other countries, you're by yourself. So if you get into a situation with the cops, with the law, you go to jail. The U.S. is pretty much just gonna send you a box of fruit snacks, maybe some Oreo cookies, and a good luck card. Whereas from what I understand in Puerto Rico, it's a U.S. territory. So if you have any problems or situations, you may have more legal recourse. So in that sense, you're kind of safer and more secure. And the last part I'm going to touch on, and this isn't about Panama, this is mainly Puerto Rico, and this could be our make or break for some people. So I know retirees, expats, foreigners, when we go to different countries, one of the reasons may be to live a simpler lifestyle. So that means not having a mortgage, not having a car note, car insurance, major expenses. And so when you're overseas, you may prefer to take public transportation, or you may, depending on the country, if the exchange rate is in your favor, you may hire a private driver. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you don't want to drive anymore. But that's not the case with this island. You need a vehicle here. Public transportation is, it's iffy. So that's one of the things you need to keep in mind here, is that if you plan on retiring, relocating, or spending a significant amount of time on this island, you're gonna need a car. Unless you just plan on staying in the capital the majority of the time, then you'll be fine. But I know for some, that minor detail could be your make or break. But anyways, these were my final thoughts of visiting Puerto Rico. I tried to touch on a little bit of everything. If you're just visiting, first timer, if you're thinking about relocating here for an extended period of time, I tried to touch on all those factors. But I'll definitely say that I enjoyed my time there. I would definitely go back and visit, maybe spend some time on a resort and actually relax. Because I was on work making video mode. But with all that being said, let me know down below if you guys agree, if you disagree, your thoughts. Because I always like to hear about other people's perspective. But I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helped you somehow. Hope you liked it. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. I should be in a new country here soon if everything goes well. All right, but anyways, catch you guys at the next one. Deuces.